Picture this: the golden years. A time we envision as a gentle sunset, painting the sky with warm hues of shared laughter, quiet contentment, and the deep comfort of family bonds. It's a period meant for savoring the harvest of a life well lived, for reflection, and for basking in the affection of those closest to our hearts. We dream of grandchildren's joyous shouts filling the air, of leisurely conversations over steaming cups of coffee, of holidays brimming with nostalgic warmth. This is the vision, isn't it? The serene portrait of later life we all aspire to. Yet, for so many, this idyllic scene is often obscured, sometimes even shattered, by an unwelcome, insidious force: family conflict. It creeps in, uninvited, like a chilling mist on a warm day. It manifests in the sharp, cutting words exchanged during a strained holiday dinner. It festers in the bitter, lingering resentments over perceived slights from decades past, now resurfacing with surprising ferocity. It can be found in the aching distance that grows between siblings, or the quiet tension that permeates interactions with adult children, born from differing expectations about care, inheritances, or even the smallest decisions about daily life. Have you ever felt that unsettling tremor? That subtle, almost imperceptible shift in the room when a sensitive topic is broached? The way a seemingly innocent comment can ignite a spark, threatening to unravel the very fabric of your family harmony, turning what should be a haven into a battleground. Perhaps you've experienced the heavy silence after an argument, a silence louder and more painful than any shouting, leaving wounds that refuse to heal. This isn't just about what happens. It's about the emotional toll it takes, the way it can erode trust, steal your joy, and cast a long shadow over the very relationships that are supposed to be your greatest solace. The dream of a peaceful old age feels distant, almost unattainable, when the people you love most become sources of stress rather than serenity. It's a storm we never asked for, violently rocking the boat of our hard-won peace, leaving us feeling adrift and utterly exhausted. Today, we embark on a vital journey together, not a journey to escape conflict entirely, for that, as we know, is a human impossibility in a world filled with diverse minds and emotions. Instead, we're here to discover something far more powerful: how to navigate these turbulent waters with unwavering grace, profound wisdom, and an unshakable inner calm. We'll turn to an ancient philosophy, a timeless guide that has offered solace, strength, and clarity to countless individuals across millennia: Stoicism. For some, the word Stoicism might conjure images of emotionless detachment, of stern faces and cold logic. But let me assure you, that is a profound misconception. True Stoicism is not about suppressing your emotions or becoming indifferent to the pain of others. Far from it. It's about a deep, empathetic understanding of human nature, a rigorous self-awareness, and most importantly, about mastering your responses. It teaches us to discern what is truly within our sphere of influence and what is not, allowing us to release the burden of external circumstances and focus our energy where it genuinely matters: on our own character, our judgments, and our reactions. It's about cultivating a profound sense of inner peace that remains steadfast, even when the ones we love most seem to be challenging it, when their words sting or their actions disappoint. In the coming moments, we'll delve into practical, actionable Stoic principles that can transform your experience of family dynamics, helping you cultivate harmony even amidst discord. If you find yourself nodding along, if the idea of a stronger, more resilient mind, a calmer spirit and a happier existence resonates deeply with you, then I urge you to consider making this wisdom a regular part of your life. Make sure you subscribe to the Stoic Philosophy channel right now. By joining our community, you'll gain access to more videos designed to equip your mind with the tools for resilience, inner tranquility, and enduring happiness. Your mind is your most valuable asset. Let's strengthen it together, ensuring your golden years truly shine with peace and joy. As we gracefully enter the autumn of our lives, the landscape of our family dynamics often undergoes profound and sometimes tumultuous shifts. What was once a relatively stable, predictable terrain can become riddled with unexpected fault lines, creating fissures where we least expect them. Adult children, now navigating their own complex lives, might hold vastly differing opinions on crucial matters. Perhaps the delicate balance of care for an aging parent, the equitable distribution of an inheritance that carries decades of unspoken expectations, or even the seemingly trivial traditions of a holiday gathering. Grandchildren, blossoming into their own distinct individuals, bring new perspectives and modern sensibilities that can, at times, clash with established norms and deeply held values, creating a quiet chasm between generations. But it's not just the new challenges that emerge. Often, the most insidious conflicts are those that have been simmering beneath the surface for years, even decades. Old wounds, long buried under the dust of daily life, can resurface with a surprising, almost violent intensity. Sibling rivalries, childhood slights, or parental favoritism that seem to fade with time can suddenly reignite, turning what should be a supportive bond into a battleground of bitter accusations and unresolved grievances. A casual remark, perhaps innocent in its intent, can inadvertently strike a raw nerve, triggering a cascade of past hurts and misunderstandings that spiral into arguments, or worse, into a chilling silence that speaks volumes. The pain of these conflicts isn't merely in the sharp words exchanged or the raised voices. It's far deeper, far more pervasive. It's in the agonizing erosion of the very bonds we hold most dear, the tearing of the intricate fabric that weaves our family together. It's the profound disappointment when a cherished vision of family harmony gives way to a fractured reality. For many, this period of life is meant to be a time of reduced stress, of savoring hard-won peace, and yet these internal family battles can become a relentless source of anxiety, sadness, and profound loneliness. The emotional toll is immense. Sleepless nights spent replaying conversations, the constant knot of worry in the stomach, the pervasive feeling of being misunderstood or unappreciated by the very people whose love and respect we crave most. This chronic stress can even manifest physically, impacting our health and diminishing the quality of our precious later years, years that should be characterized by tranquility, not turmoil. The core of this challenge lies not just in the existence of disagreements, for human beings will always disagree, but in how we react to them and, crucially, how we allow them to steal our precious peace. We often find ourselves desperately wishing things were different, longing for family members to see our point of view, to behave in a way that aligns with our expectations, or to simply change. This yearning for external control, this fervent desire for others to conform to our ideal vision, is precisely where our suffering begins. It's like trying to command the wind to blow in a different direction, or the tides to cease their ebb and flow. The The more we resist the reality of a situation, the more we struggle against the inherent autonomy of others, the more we tighten the chains of our own frustration and despair. The true problem, then, isn't the presence of a storm on the horizon. It's our unpreparedness for its arrival, our lack of a sturdy anchor, and our belief that we can somehow command the winds and waves to subside. We become entangled in the emotional drama, allowing the actions and words of others to dictate our inner state, surrendering our tranquility to external forces. This is the profound challenge that faces many of us in our golden years: how to maintain our inner sanctuary of peace, how to protect our well-being, and how to continue cultivating love and connection, even when the very people we cherish most become the unexpected source of our greatest trials. The challenge, in essence, isn't to stop the waves from coming, but to learn how to steer our own ship through them with skill, resilience, and an unwavering sense of self-possession. It's about reclaiming our sovereignty over our own minds and emotions, no matter the familial tempest brewing outside. Timeless Stoic strategies for family harmony. We've acknowledged the quiet ache, the unsettling tremor that family conflicts can bring to our golden years. We've seen how the vision of peaceful retirement can be clouded by unresolved tensions, by words spoken in haste, or by the heavy weight of unspoken expectations. But here's the profound truth, one that the ancient Stoics understood with crystal clarity. While we cannot always control the actions or words of others, we possess an immense, often untapped power over our own inner landscape. We can choose how we perceive, how we react, and how we ultimately allow these external events to shape our peace. This section isn't just about theory, it's about equipping you with a practical toolkit forged in the wisdom of centuries, designed to help you navigate the intricate, sometimes bewildering, labyrinth of family relationships. Imagine having a compass that always points to your inner north, no matter how disorienting the storm. Imagine a shield that deflects the sharpest barbs, not by blocking them entirely, but by rendering them powerless to pierce your inner serenity. This is the promise of Stoicism, not a magic wand to make conflicts disappear, but a profound methodology to transform your experience of them. We're about to delve into 5 cornerstone Stoic principles, each a powerful lens through which to view and respond to family challenges. These aren't abstract concepts to be admired from afar. They are living, breathing practices meant to be integrated into the very fabric of your daily interactions. From understanding the true boundaries of your influence to cultivating a deep, almost alchemical acceptance of what is, each principle offers a unique pathway to greater peace, stronger bonds, and a more resilient spirit. Prepare to unlock the profound wisdom that can turn moments of potential discord into opportunities for growth, understanding, and ultimately a more harmonious and truly peaceful old age. Let's begin the exploration of these timeless strategies designed to empower you to be the architect of your own tranquility, even within the complex tapestry of family life. Part 1. The Unseen Boundary. Mastering your inner kingdom. We've all been there, haven't we? Standing at the precipice of a family disagreement, perhaps over holiday plans, a grandchild's upbringing, or even the seemingly trivial matter of how to load the dishwasher. In those moments, a powerful, almost irresistible urge rises within us. The desire to control the situation, to make others see things our way, to compel them to act differently. We might plead, argue, cajole, or even resort to silent resentment, all in the desperate hope of bending reality to our will. But what if I told you that this very desire, this relentless striving to control the uncontrollable, is often the root cause of our deepest frustration and the erosion of our peace? The ancient Stoics, with their profound understanding of human nature, offered a liberating truth, a concept so simple yet so utterly transformative. They called it the dichotomy of control. Imagine for a moment two distinct circles. In the inner circle reside the things that are entirely within your power: your thoughts, your judgments, your desires, your aversions, and your actions. This is your inner kingdom, your sovereign territory. No one can truly invade it without your permission. In the outer circle lie everything else: the weather, the economy, what other people say about you, how your adult children choose to live their lives, your spouse's mood, your grandchild's choices, even your own physical health as it declines with age. These are externals, things utterly beyond your direct command. The Stoic wisdom here is not about apathy or indifference. It's about a radical, empowering shift in focus. When we mistakenly place our peace and happiness on things in the outer circle, I will be happy when my son finally listens to my advice, or I won't worry until my daughter-in-law changes her mind. We hand over the keys to our inner kingdom to external forces. We become like puppets, our emotional strings pulled by the unpredictable whims and actions of others. And in the complex, often messy tapestry of family life, where every individual is a universe unto themselves, this is a recipe for perpetual disappointment and conflict. Consider a common scenario. You offer well-meaning advice to an adult child, perhaps about their finances or their parenting style. You believe you know best and your heart is in the right place, but they dismiss it, or worse, react with defensiveness. The immediate impulse might be frustration, anger, or a feeling of being unappreciated. This is where the dichotomy of control becomes your compass. You can control your intention to offer help, your choice of words, and your willingness to let go of the outcome. You cannot control their reaction, their decision, or their perception of your advice. Trying to force their acceptance is like trying to hold water in your hands. The harder you grasp, the more it slips through your fingers, leaving you empty and frustrated. The true mastery, the path to genuine serenity, lies in diligently and consistently distinguishing between these two circles. When a family conflict arises, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, is this truly within my control? If it's another person's opinion, their past behavior, or their future choices, then it belongs to the outer circle. And here's the crucial step. Release it. Not with resignation, but with a profound sense of liberation. You are not responsible for their choices, only for your own. You are not responsible for their happiness, only for cultivating your own virtuous response. This doesn't mean you become passive or uncaring. On the contrary, by focusing on what you can control, you become incredibly powerful. You can control your response to their words. You can control your decision to engage in a calm, respectful dialogue, or to disengage if the conversation turns toxic. You can control your choice to offer love and understanding, even when it's not reciprocated. You can control your judgment of the situation, choosing to see it as a challenge to your Stoic practice rather than a personal attack. This shift in perspective is monumental. It moves you from a position of reactive victimhood to one of proactive self-mastery. Imagine your inner peace as a magnificent garden. Every time you try to control something in the outer circle, you're essentially trying to pull weeds from your neighbor's garden. It's exhausting, futile, and distracts you from tending your own vibrant flora. But when you focus solely on your inner kingdom, on nurturing your own thoughts, judgments, and actions, your garden flourishes. You become the master gardener of your soul, cultivating tranquility regardless of the storms brewing outside your walls. This practice is particularly vital as we age. We may face health challenges, changes in financial status, or the inevitable loss of loved ones, all externals. But even amidst these profound shifts, our inner kingdom remains our own. When family members disagree on how to manage these life changes, the Stoic reminds us, focus on your own integrity, your own compassion, your own wisdom in the face of their reactions. You cannot control their grief, their fear, or their greed, but you can control your own equanimity, your own generosity of spirit. So, the next time a family tension begins to rise, before you react, before you try to change another's mind, pause, draw that invisible line. Ask, is this mine to control? If not, gently, firmly release it. Turn your gaze inward, master your inner kingdom, for within those boundaries lies the true, unassailable source of your peace, a peace that no external family conflict can ever truly disturb. Part 2. The Echo Chamber of Empathy, Listening Beyond Words. In the intricate dance of family life, our conversations often feel like a series of monologues, each person waiting for their turn to speak, to defend, to explain. We hear the words, certainly, but how often do we truly listen? How often do we step beyond the surface of what's being said and tune into the deeper currents of emotion, fear, or unspoken longing that lie beneath? Family conflicts, especially as we age, are rarely just about the topic at hand. They are echo chambers reverberating with past hurts, unfulfilled expectations, and often a desperate need to be seen and understood. The Stoics, though living in a different era, understood the profound power of perception and the importance of understanding the world as it is, rather than through the distorting lens of our own biases. This principle extends beautifully to our interactions with others, particularly our family. It's about cultivating empathetic understanding, not just hearing, but actively seeking to comprehend the internal landscape of another. Imagine an iceberg. Only a small fraction is visible above the water. The vast majority, the true mass, lies hidden beneath. Similarly, the words spoken in a family argument are often just the tip of an emotional iceberg. The true drivers, insecurity, fear of loss, a sense of injustice, a desire for approval, remain submerged. When a family member expresses anger, frustration, or even seemingly irrational demands, our natural impulse is often to defend, to counter, or to retreat. But what if, for a moment, we paused and asked, what is the unspoken message here? What emotion is truly driving this behavior? Perhaps a cutting remark from an adult child about your traditional ways isn't a direct attack, but a clumsy expression of their own anxiety about navigating modern life or a fear of not living up to your expectations. Perhaps a sibling's stubbornness over a minor issue stems from a deep-seated feeling of being unheard or undervalued throughout their life. This is where the practice of empathetic understanding becomes a powerful tool for de-escalation and connection. It requires us to temporarily suspend our own judgments and step into the shoes of the other person. not to agree with them necessarily, but to grasp their perspective. Seneca, another great Stoic, often wrote about the importance of reason and understanding. When we apply reason to another's seemingly unreasonable behavior, we begin to see the underlying human experience. This doesn't mean we condone harmful actions, but it allows us to respond with wisdom rather than reactive emotion. Consider a scenario. Your adult children are arguing about how to care for you as you age, and their disagreement escalates into sharp words. Your immediate feeling might be hurt or frustration that they can't agree. But if you practice empathetic understanding, you might recognize that one child's insistence on a certain approach might stem from a deep-seated fear of losing you or a sense of responsibility they feel uniquely burdened with. Another child's seemingly dismissive attitude might be a coping mechanism for their own anxieties about their future or their financial limitations. By recognizing these underlying fears and motivations, you can respond not with anger, but with compassion. Perhaps saying, "I hear how much you both care, and I know this is a difficult discussion. Can we talk about what each of you is truly worried about?" This kind of deep listening, this pursuit of understanding beyond the mere words, transforms the echo chamber of conflict into a space for genuine connection. It requires courage, the courage to be vulnerable, to set aside your own ego for a moment, and to truly open your heart to another's experience. It also requires patience, for these layers of emotion and perspective don't always reveal themselves easily. The Stoics taught us that our judgments are what disturb us, not external events themselves. When we judge a family member's actions as wrong or selfish, without seeking to understand their internal logic, we create our own distress. Empathetic understanding helps us challenge these initial judgments. It allows us to see the human being behind the behavior, to recognize their struggles, their imperfections, and their inherent desire for well-being, however clumsily expressed. This doesn't mean you become a doormat or allow others to walk over you. Instead, it means you respond from a place of informed wisdom rather than reactive anger. You can set boundaries with compassion, express your needs clearly without blame, and choose your battles with discernment. Imagine a skilled musician tuning an instrument. They don't just pluck a string and assume it's right. They listen intently, adjusting until the note resonates perfectly. In family relationships, empathetic understanding is that tuning process. It allows us to hear the true melody, the underlying harmony or discord, and respond in a way that brings things back into tune. It's about recognizing that every person, even those who challenge us most, is doing the best they can with the resources and understanding they possess at that moment. By cultivating this profound ability to listen beyond words, to seek the hidden truths of another's heart, you not only de-escalate conflict, but also deepen your relationships. You foster an environment where genuine understanding can flourish, where old wounds can begin to heal, and where the bonds of family can strengthen, becoming a source of enduring comfort and joy in your peaceful old age. This practice is a testament to the Stoic belief that true wisdom lies not just in controlling ourselves, but in understanding the world and the people within it with profound clarity and compassion. Part 3. The Shield of Foresight. Anticipating life's inevitable ripples. The very phrase, premeditation of evils, might sound rather grim, almost like inviting negativity into your life. But for the Stoics, this practice, known as premeditatio malorum, was anything but pessimistic. In fact, it was a cornerstone of their profound optimism and resilience. It wasn't about dwelling on worst-case scenarios to induce anxiety, but rather about a powerful mental rehearsal, a strategic preparation for the inevitable challenges that life, and particularly family life, will undoubtedly present. Think of it not as predicting doom, but as building a robust mental shield, a fortress of calm that can withstand the fiercest storms. In our golden years, we often cherish the idea of tranquility, of smooth sailing. Yet, the reality of family dynamics is rarely a perpetually calm sea. Holidays can become minefields of old tensions. Discussions about care for an aging parent, or indeed for ourselves, can quickly become emotionally charged. The topic of inheritance, even when handled with the best intentions, can unleash a torrent of unspoken resentments and perceived injustices. These are not evils in the moral sense, but rather difficulties or adversities, the inevitable ripples that disturb the surface of our peaceful existence. The power of premeditatio malorum lies in its ability to strip these potential difficulties of their shock value. When we mentally walk through a challenging scenario before it happens, we disarm its power to overwhelm us. It's like a fire drill. You practice the evacuation route not because you want a fire, but so that if one occurs, your response is automatic, calm and effective, rather than panicked and chaotic. Similarly, if you've mentally prepared for a family member's potential criticism or for a disagreement over a sensitive topic, you're far less likely to react impulsively or defensively when it actually occurs. Let's consider a practical application. Imagine the upcoming holiday season. Instead of simply hoping for the best, engage in a brief, calm mental exercise. Think about potential triggers, perhaps a relative who always brings up politics, or a sibling who tends to dominate conversations, or even the possibility of a beloved family member being absent. Acknowledge these possibilities, then mentally rehearse your ideal Stoic response. If Uncle John starts a political debate, how will you respond? Will you engage calmly, shift the topic gracefully, or simply acknowledge his opinion without internalizing it? If your sister makes a passive-aggressive comment, how will you choose to perceive it? As a reflection of her own struggles rather than a personal attack. This isn't about scripting every word, but about cultivating a mindset of preparedness and emotional resilience. This practice allows us to separate the event itself from our judgment of it. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By premeditating, we are consciously choosing our reaction in advance. We are deciding, if this happens, I will choose calm. I will choose understanding. I will choose to focus on what is within my control. This proactive stance transforms you from a passive recipient of external events into an active architect of your inner peace. Furthermore, premeditatio malorum helps us develop a sense of gratitude for the present moment. When you consider the potential difficulties, you gain a deeper appreciation for the times when things are going well. When family harmony prevails, it reminds you that peace is not a given, but a precious state to be cherished and protected. It makes you more present and less likely to take current tranquility for granted. This is particularly relevant for those in their golden years who might be facing decisions about downsizing, healthcare, or legacy planning. These are inherently complex and emotionally charged conversations that can easily ignite family friction. By mentally preparing for potential disagreements, for differing opinions among children, or for the emotional weight of these discussions, you can approach them with greater equanimity. You can anticipate the arguments, not to dread them, but to have a mental strategy for navigating them with grace and wisdom. You might think, my children might disagree on this financial decision. I will prepare to listen to all perspectives without judgment and remind myself that their intentions are likely rooted in care, even if their approaches differ. The Stoic practice of foresight is a profound act of self-care. It's about taking responsibility for your own emotional well-being. It recognizes that while we cannot control the external world, we can absolutely control our internal response to it. By mentally preparing for the inevitable ripples and occasional storms in the family sea, you equip yourself with a sturdy shield, not to block out reality, but to prevent it from piercing your inner calm. You become like a seasoned sailor who knows the waters, anticipates the winds, and steers their vessel with confidence, even when the waves grow high. This foresight doesn't eliminate challenges, but it empowers you to meet them with an unshakable spirit, preserving the peace that is so vital in your golden years. Part 4. The Alchemist's Touch, transforming what is into what can be. Imagine an alchemist, not one who seeks to turn lead into physical gold, but one who possesses the profound ability to transform adversity into wisdom, pain into peace, and challenging realities into opportunities for growth. This is the essence of amor fati, a powerful Stoic concept often translated as love of fate. It's not a passive resignation to whatever happens, nor is it a blind optimism that everything is inherently good. Instead, it is a radical, active embrace of what is, a recognition that every event, every circumstance, especially within the complex tapestry of family life, presents an opportunity for us to practice our virtues and deepen our understanding. In the realm of family conflicts, this principle is nothing short of revolutionary. We often spend immense emotional energy resisting reality. Why can't my son just understand? If only my daughter-in-law would change her ways. I wish my siblings would stop fighting over this. This resistance, this constant wishing for things to be other than they are, is a primary source of our suffering. It's like a sculptor who refuses to work with the stone they have, constantly wishing for a different block. The Stoic alchemist, however, looks at the stone, with all its imperfections, cracks, and unique grain, and asks, "What beautiful form can I create with this?" Amor fati invites us to accept the reality of a family conflict, not as a personal affront or an unbearable burden, but as a raw material for our own growth. It means accepting that your adult child has chosen a path you don't agree with, or that a sibling relationship is strained, or that certain family dynamics are deeply ingrained. This acceptance isn't about condoning harmful behavior or abandoning your values. It's about acknowledging the truth of the situation, freeing yourself from the exhausting battle against what is, and then channeling your energy into a virtuous response. Consider a scenario where an inheritance dispute erupts among your children after a loved one passes. Your heart aches to see them at odds. The natural inclination is to try and fix it, to mediate, to wish the conflict away. But the Stoic approach, guided by amor fati, would be to first accept the reality of the dispute. This is the fate, the external event. Then the alchemist asks, how can I, with my current resources and virtues, respond to this in a way that aligns with wisdom, justice, and compassion? Perhaps it means setting clear boundaries, offering a neutral space for discussion without taking sides, or simply being a calm, loving presence amidst the storm rather than trying to control the outcome. You embrace the challenge as an opportunity to practice patience, non-attachment, and unconditional love. This active acceptance allows us to find agency even in seemingly powerless situations. When we stop fighting against reality, we free up immense mental and emotional energy that can then be redirected towards constructive action or simply towards maintaining our inner peace. It's about understanding that while you cannot control the external event, the conflict, you can absolutely control your internal narrative about it and your virtuous response to it. Every perceived evil or difficulty becomes a training ground for your character, a chance to refine your Stoic practice. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, encapsulated this beautifully when he wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In family conflicts, the impediment, the disagreement, the hurt, the misunderstanding, can actually become the very path to deeper understanding, stronger boundaries, or a more profound sense of self-reliance if we choose to embrace it with amor fati. It's about turning obstacles into opportunities, transforming leaden moments into golden lessons. This principle is particularly liberating for those in their golden years who may feel a diminishing sense of control over many aspects of life. Health may decline, roles may shift, and the world may seem to move at a bewildering pace. Family dynamics, too, can feel overwhelming. By embracing amor fati, you reclaim your power. You recognize that while you cannot control the aging process or the choices of your adult children, you can control your attitude towards these realities. You can choose to find meaning in the challenges, to see them as part of the rich tapestry of life, and to respond with courage and equanimity. It's about saying, "This is what is happening. I accept it. Now, how can I use this moment to practice my virtues? How can I be the best version of myself in this circumstance?" This active, courageous acceptance is the alchemist's touch. It allows you to transform the raw, often painful material of family conflict into something precious, a deeper understanding of yourself, a stronger commitment to your values, and an unshakable peace that comes from embracing the entirety of your human experience, thorns and all. By loving your fate, you don't just endure, you flourish, finding harmony not in the absence of conflict, but in your profound ability to navigate and transform it. Part 5. The Quiet Revolution. Your virtuous presence as a guiding light. In the tumultuous seas of family conflict, we often feel compelled to speak louder, to argue more forcefully, or to demand change from others. We believe that the solution lies in external action, in convincing or coercing those around us. But the Stoics offered a profoundly different and infinitely more powerful path: the quiet revolution of your own virtuous presence. They understood that the most potent influence we wield is not through our words of persuasion, but through the unwavering example of our own character. For the Stoics, virtue, encompassing wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, was not merely a set of moral guidelines, but the very essence of a well-lived life, the only true good. When navigating the complexities of family relationships, especially as we age, our greatest power lies not in attempting to control or change others, but in diligently embodying these virtues ourselves. Imagine yourself as a lighthouse. Its purpose isn't to shout at the ships or to demand they change course. Its power lies in its steady, consistent light, guiding those who choose to see it. offering a beacon of safety amidst the darkness. Your virtuous presence can be that guiding light for your family. Let's break down how these virtues apply. Wisdom is the ability to see things clearly, to understand what is truly good and bad, and to make sound judgments. In family conflict, this means discerning when to speak and when to remain silent, when to engage and when to step back. It's about recognizing the true nature of a problem rather than getting caught in superficial arguments. A wise person doesn't react impulsively to a sharp word, but pauses to consider the underlying cause and the most constructive response. They understand that winning an argument often means losing a relationship. Justice is about treating others fairly, with equity and respect, recognizing their inherent worth. In family dynamics, this means acknowledging the valid perspectives of others, even when they differ from your own. It means not holding on to grudges or playing favorites. It means striving for fairness in discussions about resources, time, or expectations. Even when you feel wronged, justice compels you to respond with integrity, seeking resolution and understanding rather than revenge or retribution. It's about acting with kindness and fairness, even when others are not. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act rightly in the face of it. In family conflicts, this might mean having the courage to set healthy boundaries, even if it causes temporary discomfort. It might mean speaking your truth calmly and respectfully, even when it's difficult. It might mean facing uncomfortable conversations with an open heart rather than avoiding them. It also means having the courage to let go of control, to accept what you cannot change, and to trust in your own inner strength. It's the courage to remain calm when everyone else is losing their temper. And finally, temperance, or self-control, is the mastery over your desires and impulses. This is perhaps one of the most crucial virtues in family conflict. It means controlling your anger, your frustration, your urge to retaliate or lash out. It means pausing before you speak, allowing reason to guide your words rather than raw emotion. It means moderating your expectations of others, understanding that they, like you, are imperfect beings. A temperate person doesn't allow external provocations to disturb their inner peace. They are the calm eye of the storm. When you consistently embody these virtues, you create a powerful ripple effect within your family. You become the steady anchor in turbulent waters. Your calm demeanor, your thoughtful responses, your unwavering integrity, these become a living sermon, a quiet invitation for others to rise to a higher standard. You might not see immediate changes in others, but your consistent, virtuous presence creates an environment where positive change becomes possible. You are modeling the behavior you wish to see, not through nagging or lecturing, but through your very being. This is particularly impactful in your golden years. As elders, you often hold a unique position within the family structure. Your wisdom, your experience, and your calm presence can be a source of immense stability. When you respond to conflict with stoic virtue, you are not only preserving your own peace, but also offering a profound gift to your loved ones, a blueprint for navigating life's challenges with grace. You are demonstrating that peace is an inside job, a state of mind that can be cultivated regardless of external circumstances. The quiet revolution is about understanding that true influence comes from within. It's about being the change you wish to see, not just talking about it. It's about building an unshakable foundation of character that allows you to stand firm amidst the shifting sands of family dynamics. By focusing on your own virtuous presence, you become a guiding light, illuminating the path towards greater harmony, not just for yourself, but for the entire family tapestry you cherish so deeply. This is the ultimate act of love and wisdom, a legacy of peace that transcends any conflict. The inner crucible, where peace is forged. The journey through Stoic wisdom has shown us the map, offered us the tools, and illuminated the pathways to navigate the often turbulent waters of family conflict. We've explored the unseen boundaries of our control, delved into the echo chamber of empathy, shielded ourselves with foresight, and touched upon the alchemist's transformative power of acceptance. But now we arrive at the pivotal moment, the very heart of this Stoic transformation, the climax, the key moment, when all these principles converge into a single, profound realization. This isn't an external event, it's an inner crucible, a deeply personal turning point where true peace is forged. As we've all experienced those moments of intense family friction, the sharp words hanging heavy in the air, the palpable tension that could be cut with a knife, the sudden urge to retaliate, to defend, to prove a point. In those raw, emotionally charged seconds, our primitive instincts often take over. Our hearts race, our voices rise, and our minds clamor with justifications and rebuttals. It feels like we're caught in an inescapable current, dragged along by the sheer force of the disagreement. We feel misunderstood, wronged, and perhaps even disrespected by the very people we hold dear. This is the precise instant where the old patterns of reactive behavior threaten to reassert themselves, threatening to derail any chance of resolution or, more importantly, any hope of preserving our inner calm. But here's the profound truth that Stoicism invites you to grasp, a truth that can forever alter your experience of conflict. The true turning point in any family conflict isn't when the other person changes, but when you choose to change your response. It's that conscious, deliberate decision made in the very eye of the emotional storm to pause, to remember your Stoic principles, to choose understanding over anger, acceptance over resistance, wisdom over reactive impulsiveness. It is the moment you step off the emotional roller coaster and firmly plant your feet on the solid ground of your inner fortress. Imagine a powerful current threatening to pull you under. Most people thrash, fight the current, and become exhausted. The Stoic, however, learns to identify the current, to understand its force, and then to pivot. They don't fight it head-on, they use its energy to propel themselves towards safety. In family conflict, this pivot is the moment you internalize the dichotomy of control, recognizing that while you cannot control their words or actions, you absolutely control your reaction. It's the split second when you choose empathy over judgment, recognizing that their harshness might stem from their own unaddressed pain or fear. It's the deliberate act of remembering your foresight, having already mentally rehearsed a calm, virtuous response to such a challenge. And it's the brave embrace of amor fati, accepting this challenging moment as an opportunity to practice your highest virtues. This inner crucible is where your character is tested and strengthened. It's the moment you feel the sting of a cutting remark, but instead of lashing out, you take a deep breath and choose a response rooted in temperance. It's when you witness a family member's frustrating behavior and instead of wishing they were different, you activate your acceptance, finding peace in the reality of the situation and focusing on your own calm presence. This isn't about being passive, it's about being profoundly active in managing your internal world. It's about recognizing that your peace is not a fragile thing dependent on external approval or perfect harmony. It is a robust, unshakable state of mind that you cultivate from within. This is where you become the master of your emotional destiny, rather than a victim of circumstance. This profound realization, this shift in perspective and deliberate choice, is where true liberation from the tyranny of family conflict begins. It's the moment you reclaim your serenity, regardless of the chaos swirling around you. You discover that the most powerful battlefield is not the living room where arguments erupt, but the quiet space within your own mind. And in that space, armed with Stoic wisdom, you have the power to choose peace. Conclusion: reclaiming your golden years. As we draw this profound exploration to a close, let us reflect on the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and its incredible power to transform our experience of family life, especially as we navigate our cherished golden years. We began by acknowledging the very real challenge of family conflicts, those unwelcome shadows that can cloud the twilight of our lives, stealing the peace we so deeply deserve. We recognized how old wounds resurface, how differing opinions can create chasms, and how the very fabric of our familial bonds can feel stretched and frayed. But through our journey, we've discovered that true harmony isn't found in the absence of discord, but in our cultivated ability to respond to it with wisdom and grace. We've learned that our peace is not a fragile vessel at the mercy of every external wave. Instead, it is an inner fortress, built brick by brick with the enduring principles of Stoicism. Remember these pillars that can uphold your serenity. First, the dichotomy of control taught us to discern what is truly ours to manage, our thoughts, our judgments, our reactions, and to courageously release the overwhelming burden of trying to control the uncontrollable actions or opinions of others. This is where your power truly lies. Second, we embraced empathetic understanding, pushing past the surface noise of arguments to hear the unspoken fears, hopes, and perspectives that truly drive the behaviors of our loved ones. Listening beyond words creates bridges where walls once stood. Third, we armed ourselves with the shield of foresight, premeditatio malorum, mentally preparing for life's inevitable ripples and challenges, not to dread them, but to disarm their power to surprise and overwhelm us. Preparedness fosters resilience. Fourth, we tapped into the alchemist's touch of amor fati, learning to actively accept the reality of situations, even the difficult ones, and to view every challenge as a fertile ground for personal growth and the practice of our highest virtues. Acceptance is the key to inner freedom. And finally, we unveiled the quiet revolution of our virtuous presence, understanding that our most profound influence comes not from forceful words, but from the consistent, unwavering example of our own wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. You become the lighthouse, guiding by your steady light. These aren't just philosophical concepts, they are practical, actionable tools for building a life rich in harmony, even amidst the occasional discord. They are the keys to reclaiming your golden years, transforming them into a period of profound tranquility, deeper connection, and enduring happiness. Your peaceful old age is not a distant dream. It is a present possibility, cultivated by the wisdom you choose to embody. Your path to lasting peace. As we conclude our journey today, reflecting on the profound wisdom of Stoicism and its power to transform our family lives, the real work, the most rewarding part, now begins. This isn't just a philosophy to ponder. It's a practice to live, moment by moment, interaction by interaction. We've laid the groundwork, revealing the tools you can use to build your inner fortress of peace, navigate the emotional complexities of family, and ultimately reclaim the serenity of your golden years. But this video is just one step on a much larger, incredibly fulfilling path. The principles we've discussed today are part of a vast reservoir of timeless wisdom that can empower you to face any challenge with resilience, clarity, and an unshakable inner calm. If the insights shared resonated with your spirit, if you found a glimmer of hope or a practical new perspective for your own life, then I encourage you to delve deeper. Your peaceful, happy, and resilient mind is the greatest legacy you can cultivate for yourself and your loved ones. Don't let the daily currents of life sweep you away from this vital pursuit. We have so much more wisdom to share, more practical applications of Stoic philosophy, and more ways to help you fortify your mind and spirit. To continue this enriching journey, to consistently equip yourself with the tools for a stronger, more peaceful, and truly happier life, I urge you to explore the other videos right here on the Stoic Philosophy channel. Each one is designed to provide you with actionable insights and profound understanding. And to ensure you never miss out on these valuable lessons, please take a moment right now to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. Join our growing community dedicated to living a life of purpose and tranquility. Thank you deeply for spending your valuable time with us today. May you find increasing strength, serenity, and joy in your family relationships and in every moment of your remarkable journey. May your golden years truly be filled with the harmonious peace you deserve.
Thank you for watching this video here on the Stoic Philosophy. If you found value in this, I invite you to explore more videos on the channel. There's so much more wisdom to uncover. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next one. Thanks again for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.